I know. Your mind is blown.
Yeah,
So's mine.
it is. I just got blown.
Do you really want to be scaring your own citizens so much?
Not.
And I know now you're all saying, and what did he say to that? Honestly.
Clinton Jaws, it's the middle of the night. Please like this video. It's the only thing I care about. You wouldn't believe what it does to the video when you just like it. This is some of the best TV I've seen in a long time. I can't believe I just said that because I haven't seen good TV in a long time. But wow. Wow. Bill Maher, whatever you're calling him, he gets emotional. He talks about his dinner date with Trump on Real Time with Bill Maher, and he catches himself. Let's watch. It's hilarious right off the bat. Bill has recorded all the insults that Trump has said about him over the years. He writes it down on a list, and he gives the list to Trump during dinner. Watch this.
This list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog. His show is dead.
Fired like a dog.
Love it. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it, which he did. With good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you going to say something nice about him?
Trump shows them around. This is the office they go into.
After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton used to... Okay. The blowjob room. Okay. Well, not anymore. That's where they keep the merch now.
This comedy is perfect.
It is. And
he's telling the truth.
And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was. I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. But, okay. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them. No.
You gotta keep on watching. He gets emotional here. I thought he was gonna start crying.
But, okay, example. In the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, you know the best thing about him? His hair. I said, well, there was also that whole bringing down communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed and I go through the trap door. But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House. He said, well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons. I said, no, people love dogs, that's what that is. Oh yeah, okay, that's true. I'm telling you, it happened. At one point, we were walking through his amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that.
He likes them.
He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public.
And he's scared he likes them now.
I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that with him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, your mind is blown. So is mine.
It is. I just got blown.
Told him he was wrong when he tweeted the night before that I was critical of all things Trump. Not true. Check the tapes. Moving Israel's embassy to Jerusalem, loved it. The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees, like the million Syrians who wound up in Germany when Saudi Arabia took none. He said to me, you're right, they took none. I said, well, you should remind your boyfriend in Saudi Arabia that the next time you see him. He laughed. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama.
He is actually doing this monologue perfectly.
But I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. Make of it what you will.
Wow.
Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. He was even okay when I checked him on the orangutan lawsuit. He was.
Oh, wow, they talked about that.
He said to Dana White, you know, Bill said my father was an orangutan, and I really love my father. And I said, well, Mr. President, I did that because I didn't like what you were doing regarding Obama's birth origins. I thought that was low. Again, no anger. Just a little smile, as if to say, yeah, I get it. The most surreal part of the whole night was when I got home. I flew back right after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump.
This is actually the best part. I love this, the best part. But I want to tell you guys something. This happened to me 4 times in my life. Listen, let's talk about something serious. The American dream, it's at risk. And hardworking people like you are suffocating in overwhelming debt. I've been there. It feels like you're in a hole and it's impossible to get out. And you know who loves it? Creditors. They want to keep you strapped into high interest cycles, buried underneath student loans, credit card balances. Because when you're struggling, you're easier to control. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to fight back because you have to. You have to take control back. How do you do that? It all starts with today's sponsor, PDS Debt. PDS Debt has customized options for anyone struggling with credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, collections. They take a personalized approach to understanding your unique financial situation. And then they craft solutions to help you become debt-free, clearing a path to financial freedom. Your credit score doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's bad, if it's fair, if it's in between. They welcome everybody. They help you save more money while paying your debt off faster, putting more money back into your motorhome, boat, stomach. And their customized programs are designed for anyone carrying $10,000 or more in eligible debt. And getting started is incredibly simple. It only takes 30 seconds. Just take their free debt analysis they're offering you guys right now. Stop living in debt. You don't have to. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now. Go to pdsdebt.com/Clinton. You're just 30 seconds away from starting to get out of debt. That's pdsdebt.com/Clinton or scan the QR code that you see on the screen. pdsdebt.com/Clinton.
The most surreal part of the whole night was when I got home. I flew back right after the dinner, and I'm in bed watching 60 Minutes from the night before. And there's Trump in one of their stories, standing at a podium in a room that looked to me like one of the rooms and places we'd just been in. And he's ranting, "Disgusting, you're a terrible person." And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch? And why can't we get the guy I met to be the public guy? And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to do that. It's not. I'm just reporting exactly what I saw over 2.5 hours. I went into the mine, and that's what's down there. A crazy person doesn't live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is f***ed up. It's just not as f***ed up as I thought it was. And I have no illusions now that I'm back to work at my job that he might start a new list. But I also think he now understands I have a job to do, or at least he did on this night, because he said to me early on that he'd seen our last episode, which was the Friday before this dinner. And he said, "I thought maybe you'd be nice, but you hit me really hard." I did, because I'm not going to pull my punches that presidents get to propose a third term for themselves. He understood that, and without animus. That doesn't mean he's not going to try to do it. At one point, I said to him, "You're scaring people. Do you really want to be scaring your own citizens so much?" Not. And I know now you're all saying, "And what did he say to that?" Honestly, I don't remember. But it wasn't, "Okay, I'll stop."
You see that? I've done speeches my entire life in front of people and he knew exactly what he was going to say, but honestly, I don't remember. I don't believe that. He just wanted to stop talking about it because he was going to break down there. I'm just saying it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's something I would have done.
Honestly, I don't remember. But it wasn't, "Okay, I'll stop."
I don't know, maybe I'm
So
wrong.
MAGA fans, don't worry. Your boy gave me nothing. Just hats. Hats and a very generous amount of time and a willingness to listen and accept me as a possible friend, even though I'm not MAGA, which was the point of the dinner. My favorite part of the whole night was we were standing in the blowjob room. We were. And he said, "You know, I've heard from a lot of people who really like that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot." And I said, "Same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all." And we agreed. The people who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. Don't talk, as opposed to what? Beautiful. Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25-hour speeches into the wind? Really? That's what liberals have? He takes the piss out of everybody else and we can hold ours? Okay, that's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why he isn't that in other settings, I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high.
He's worried. He's worried that people are going to hate him for this, but people are going to love him for this. Wow. And I hope you guys understand why it was choppy. Okay, I'm not going to explain it, but I hope he made it through the choppiness. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He considers him a friend now, and he doesn't know. Well, actually, Bill, you nailed it. You nailed it tonight. You nailed your monologue, because we all know that you're a left dude, and you're confused. He's confused now. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to do. And thanks for watching. PDS debt. Get on it. You'll breathe better after you do. Subscribe. Bye-bye.